Well, good morning, friends, and welcome to my channel. I am Crystal, and this is Homemaking on the Homestead. And today, I'm kind of doing a mashup, I guess you could call, of Coffee with Crystal as well as a little homemaking. Now that I've gone to one video a week, I'm still working on trying to figure out, what's the best approach. So I thought, well, let me try this. I'll see what I think. I'll see what you guys think. And today I'm just going to do a little bit of chit chat about various little topics. I have and also some kitchen time that I spent here a few days ago that I filmed, and I'm going to kind of stick that in the middle. And then I'm going to end with a little bit of encouragement on wise women building our home and remembering that it is a process. That will be at the end of the video. So, in the meantime, you can still grab your cup of coffee and let's chat. I have to say, I am just loving all the spring weather that we are having. It is just so amazing. In fact, we got up into maybe 70s, low 70s the other day, and it just felt so good to have all that warmth. However, now, because, this is the Pacific Northwest, we are going into a string of maybe 5 or 6 rainy, cooler days, but that's okay. Our area needs that. It helps keep things more damper, longer, because once summer hits towards the middle to end of summer, of course, our fire danger goes up. So we always have to, realize that the water is good, the rain is good. So that's okay. Since going to one video a week, I have to say that it has been so helpful for me. It has helped me put my priorities in a better place, helped me focus on a few other things that had been important, but I never seemed to have the time for it. And also last week, it gave my husband and I time. We were able to take a beautiful 4-day road trip down the Oregon coast. It was just gorgeous. I did a short video on it, just kind of showing some of the scenes and stuff, and I may plug some in here, but you can check that out in my shorts playlist and see it if you'd like. But we just had... It was perfect. With the Oregon coast, you never know what you're going to get when you get there. Is it going to be just rainy and overcast? That's really typical. But it wasn't. The sun was out. It was just gorgeous. It was a little cool and a little windy, but it was so much fun. We stayed in state parks along the way, and we love state parks. They're just really, nice and reasonably priced. And we have a van, so that's what we camp out in, and it was a lot of fun. There's something so therapeutic about living near the ocean, or actually being able to easily go to the ocean. It absolutely just feeds my soul in ways that I can't even describe. And it had been a while since the two of us had been at the ocean, and so both of us just really enjoyed our trip. And like I said, I didn't have the pressure of having to get 2 videos out a week, and hubby and I were actually able to get away and spend some wonderful time. So that's a good thing. That's a positive benefit of 1 video a week for right now. One of the other things that I have been working on is something I wanted to do, but again, because I was always so focused on my 2 videos a week, I just never had a chance to really build up my Instagram account. I know some people do not like Instagram. I've heard from several people, oh, I don't like Instagram. I don't have an Instagram account, and that is totally fine, and I understand that completely. But it has been something that I wanted to do, to have it go with my YouTube channel, just as another way to reach out to more people. So I'm learning more and more about it. That was part of my problem. Having not really used it a whole lot, I didn't really get it, and it takes time, especially when you get older and, you're not familiar with a lot of these things. In the meantime, I have been able to figure out how to add things to my story and to post a few extra videos over there. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, you will find the link in the description below. And you can, check out. I try to do it. I've been working on doing a daily little montage of things through the story. So you can follow me there, and I add clips and things to my Instagram main page. I don't know what they call it there, but anyway, okay, I'm working on that. If you want to join me, you can see more, and just it's a way that I reach out a little bit more on a daily basis. I've also been working on my blog, which is a very slow process, and I have a different website that I'm using, a blog platform that I'm using than I had before, so I'm having to learn all over again, and things have changed a lot over the last several years, so there's a lot for me to learn. But my goal is to have it as a place where I can put my recipes and put different articles and things like that. That's my main goal. So right now I'm just still working to get that set up, but I'm making progress. So those are all my recent updates since I saw you last Friday. And now I'm just going to kind of, one of the things that kind of move on to some of the things that we enjoy talking about that I mentioned in my usual Coffee with Crystals. And number one is, what do you have going on in your kitchen? I have had kind of a semi-busy week in my kitchen because we were gone for a while and then I came home. Anyway, I'm going to be talking about that more in the next part of this video. So for right now, let me know what you've had going on in your kitchen. And, the typical daily, weekly question, what's for dinner? I was going to do a pot of chicken soup tonight, but the weather is still really nice, and I decided since rain is coming in tomorrow, that would be the perfect day to do some chicken soup and maybe a pan of biscuits or something like that. Just something cozy while we have rainy, cooler weather. And tonight, my husband mentioned to me, this morning he mentioned to me for tonight that a barbecue sounded good to him, and he wanted some barbecued hamburgers. So I'm like, perfect. I have no problem, especially since he does that part. So I'll have to figure out what to go with it. I'm not sure yet. It may just be something as simple as potato chips and a salad, depending on how busy my day gets. So anyway, that's what we're having for dinner tonight. Make sure you let me know down in the comments, what are you having for dinner tonight? And let's share those ideas with each other. The other day when I was working in my kitchen, I thought, I'm just going to go ahead and do some filming. I don't know where I'm going to put this into my videos yet or what. I don't think this will be enough to make an entire video out of, which it wasn't, but I would like to just kind of share what I've had going on in my kitchen and a little more chit chat with you. Right now, I'm going to take you back a few days and show you what I had going on in my kitchen. It is always so nice to have my freshly clean iron apron on, and I love that. But I got to share something with you. So I think 2 or 3 videos back, can't remember now, I shared how I buy the little automotive towels. You get 52 in a bag for $22. I love them. And I have some right here in my towel drawer. Anyway, and so, not only do I just grab them for spills like you would paper towels, but they make great little kitchen towels, dry dishes, wipe your hands, whatever. So, of course, the first load I put through, I washed them all, and tons of fuzz, just the white fuzzy stuff from the towels, which you would expect, came off the towels. And then after that, I just threw them in with my regular kitchen towels, and it just so happened that I put this apron plus another one into the wash that had a few of those towels, and they continued to shed their fuzz. So this apron was like literally looked like it had been snowed on. So I had to deal with that first, and then finally could get to ironing it. But anyway, be forewarned, if you take my advice to buy those towels, because I still love them, I would just wash them by themselves for a few loads until they are no longer shedding any of their little cotton, snowy looking fuzz. Anyway, okay, let's, I digress, which I do easily. Move that towel out of my way here. Okay, so I am working in my kitchen this afternoon, and I just thought, I would share what I'm doing. It's really nothing huge today. I don't have any big creative plans, but here is what I have going on. I have, still covered in plastic wrap, a rotisserie chicken. And I actually have quite a bit of it. I mean, it looks like, there we go. Let's get that in the picture. More than half. So we've actually eaten on this for 2 nights. We did have some sushi that we had bought to go with it, so I think that's why we didn't eat a whole lot of it. But this afternoon, I'm going to cut this chicken meat all up and put it into Ziploc bags to be able to put in the freezer for a future meal. Then I'm going to take the bones and turn those into chicken stock. Yesterday I was busy. We were completely out of granola, so I made a double batch of my brown sugar granola, and I have that on a short video that I can link either right up here or in the description, or both, so that if you want to check out my recipe, you can. It's my favorite, goes together really quick, and now we got a lot of granola. So I let it sit out overnight to make sure it was completely cooled, and now I'm going to put it into my container, which goes into my pantry. You want to always make sure your granola is 100% cooled, because if there's any warmth in there and you put it in an airtight container, of course it's going to have condensation, and you could end up with a big moldy mess. Otherwise, this granola will sit on your shelf for a very long time. After spending 4 days on the road, on our little road trip through the Oregon coast, we were coming home and it was late in the afternoon. I needed to pick up some groceries. So on our way home, we stopped at Costco and we stopped at Winco. And I needed some quick, easy dinner options, which is where the rotisserie chicken came in. Also, when I went to Winco, I got some of their potato salad, some of their coleslaw. So I didn't really have to think much the day we got home, because I just needed to unpack and get reorganized again. So that was really nice. And then the other thing, because these are my husband's favorite that we picked up. Okay, I had an interruption by the hubs, and so I had to go and talk with him. Didn't have to, wanted to. But anyway, let's get back to this. So for our long coast of the trip, aside from buying what I already told you, we also picked up one of my husband's favorite things. And this is Costco's seasoned back ribs with barbecue sauce. And I will say they are delicious. So all you have to do is bake them in the oven for about a half hour or so, and they're ready to go. So of course that's the plan for dinner tonight. And I'm still working on a side dish. I'm thinking some garlic butter noodles to go with that. And as you can see back here, I'm getting ready to make a salad. So without further ado, I'm going to get busy in my kitchen. Comes with the barbecue sauce, which you obviously need to remove before you put it in the oven. You need to loosely cover it with foil and pop it in the oven. And there we go, breakfast for quite a while. Time to put it on the pantry shelf. Okay, I ended up with 4 cups of chopped up chicken meat, which I think is pretty good since we've already had 2 meals from this chicken. And I'm going to put them 2 cups into 2 Ziploc bags. So 2 cups each in each bag. And then I am going to put it in the freezer. And I see upcoming chicken enchiladas, upcoming chicken soup, chicken noodle soup, chicken vegetable soup. I see chicken pot pie. The list goes on and on and on. Okay, and now I am going to go over here to my Instant Pot and get those beans going. I'm going to get those bones going so that I have chicken broth, which would be perfect for the soup or any of the recipes that I named above. So let's do this, ladies. Okay, now that the salad is done, I am going to move on to my pasta. It is just going to be super simple. I have about a half package of linguine pasta here, about 8 ounces or so, and I am just going to cook that up, throw in some butter and garlic and a few other seasonings, and that's going to be our side dish to go with our ribs. And there you go, friends. A beautiful, simple, easy dinner. The ribs are all done, the barbecue sauce. I have the nice salad and the pasta and my 4 cups chicken. I'm going to go take that down to my freezer. My Instant Pot finished 3 minutes ago. Oops, 4 minutes ago. And I am going to let the pressure come down on its own. After it does that, before I go to bed this evening, I will be separating the broth from the bones and finish dealing with that tomorrow, which will give the broth time for any fat that accumulates at the top for me to be able to easily take that off if it's been in the refrigerator overnight. In the past, I have made several Coffee with Crystal videos on wise women building our home, and we've talked about all the ways that we as wise women can work to build our homes. And the premise for this comes from Proverbs 14:1 that says, "A wise woman builds her house, but a foolish woman tears it down with her own hands." And so my concept had been to let's talk about things that we can do to be those wise women that build up our homes. And I have talked about several different topics, things like keeping a clean and orderly home, preparing meals, having a good attitude. You know, we as wise women set the temperature for our household. So is it soft and loving? Is it harsh, and cold? What is the temperature based on our attitudes? As well as viewing our work as service to the Lord, being the hands and feet of Jesus, and trying to create a nurturing and loving environment to anybody that comes into our home. However, I was thinking about this the other day. I had a conversation with my daughter, and I was thinking about this the other day, is that it's good to remember that we are not perfect. We are not going to always be able to do all of those things that we may struggle with sometimes with keeping our house clean and orderly. We may not always be able to have that wonderful attitude that we need to have because life happens, and there are those moments, right? We all have them. Sometimes we struggle with cooking and keeping up on the meals, and sometimes we might find that we struggle with providing that nurturing, loving home that we so desire to do. And when those things happen, I think it's important to remember that it is okay. It is okay not to always be 100% on top of everything that we've discussed. Otherwise, we're that foolish woman tearing our house down. I believe that it all starts with a desire to want to serve the Lord and to want to have the right heart as homemakers. And we want to be that woman, that wise woman. That's where it starts. That's number one. And number two is prayer. It's so important that we are praying for wisdom. We are asking the Lord to give us His wisdom, to put His priorities in our mind and on our heart. And He says in His word that if you pray for wisdom, He's going to give you that wisdom. And so we have to make sure that our days are covered in prayer and that we are constantly seeking ways in our home to be wise women and to glorify Him in everything that we do every day, from the simplest of tasks to the greatest of tasks. All of these things are that ministry, that calling, and when we ask Him to put His priorities into our heart and to make that our goal then it is a process, and we are taking the right steps forward. When you build a house, it's a process. You don't just start from nothing and then all of a sudden, boom, you have a house there. It's a building process. So that's what it says. A wise woman builds her home. That's present tense. You're in process and you are building your home. So seek him first. Pray for wisdom and pray for his priorities in your heart that will allow you to be a wise woman building her home. Okay, ladies, I hope you enjoyed today's little mashup of my two styles of videos, and we'll see what I do in the future if I continue to do that. If you have any thoughts or comments on that, please let me know below, and I hope you really did enjoy this video and you found it encouraging. I hope you have an amazing weekend and a blessed week ahead, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye-bye.